Folks, spirits, the radar fires up and goes nuts. This is the intro. Yeah, folks, welcome to the Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name's Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Boulding.
I am Roger Norquist.
Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by a tab that I lost. Got it. Today's episode of Werewolf. Go on.
I got nothing. Monstrucal brand Lost Tab.
Lost Tabs. It's a Coke from the 80s.
Yeah,
all right,
it's the soda.
Here we go. Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstroco presents The Pocket Priest. This blessed 38 caliber revolver fits right in your vestments and is righteously capable of smiting the wicked or blessing the meek at an effective range of 65 yards. Comes with 16 rounds of sanctified ammunition and a case of sparkling holy water from the fine folks at White Claw. The Pocket Priest by Monstroco. Yes, today, Satan.
I'm amazed that that's not an actual gun.
It is from Monstroco.
Well, I know,
it's a Monstroco product. It looks like exactly what you'd imagine. It looks like it's white, ivory, mother of pearl, gold. The bullets, each one contains a piece of a saint.
Now, I'm an avid student.
Saint Kablooey.
I'm an avid student of Indiana Jones,
sure,
and the Last Crusade,
and his various crusades.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't a holy affair of this type be made out of wood and nails?
It's kind of a ship of Theseus thing. They say that long ago it was kind of a crossbow, and then they replaced parts as time and technology caught up with it.
And they slowly built a gun.
Yes, exactly.
I get it, because like for a short while though, it didn't work at all because they were mixing new parts with old parts.
Yeah, nobody knew what they were making.
And then it became a gun as more parts became available.
Right.
I dig it.
And now
like
Monstroco
in the future,
is
it's gonna be a laser.
mass producing these babies. Absolutely. Oh, Monstroco's been working on a holy laser for decades. Vaporized a lot of good priests and scientists. Priest scientists. Got this thing set to vaporize. Let's set that to bless. Why is there a vaporized setting on it? We don't know. Monstroco's working on it. The Pocket Priest. It's a pocket-sized revolver, shoots holy bullets. You get it. How's it going? How are you guys? I'm back. I went and did a ritual. I did the ritual of getting married.
You did a ritual. It was at the Denver Forest of Darkness.
The Denver Forest of Unfathomable Darkness, wherein you get lost and you try to find your husband or bride. And if you find them, you get to escape together. Still a lot of guests.
I'm surprised all three of us made it out, because like 1 in 3 people did not make it back.
People are still coming out, trickling out, if they can still be called people. What do you guys mind if I go first? I think I have something pretty urgent.
The skull box is yours to open.
Roll me the skull box. That's right. It's a box that can roll from Monstroco.
There's wheels at the
bottom. No, the new round square by Monstroco. There's a new Conjuring out. They conjured another one.
And the Conjuring, if I remember, because I don't watch horror movies, that's the movies that are about the Warrens, right?
The Warrens,
yes.
The Conjuring verse, as imagined by James Wan, sort of paints them as these heroic demonologist, demon-fighting pair. Who we love. We love the movie version of the Warrens.
Well, this one is being widely panned.
This one is being widely panned. I watched it recently. I mean, I don't know that any of them are particular. The Conjuring's very good.
The first one is pretty passable.
The Conjuring scared my knickers off. I haven't been able to get those knickers back on ever since. And the second one I found spooky. but they've been getting progressively worse and more formulaic, I think, is the problem.
Is this a
And
Blumhouse affair?
It's James Wan. I don't know if he's involved in Blumhouse.
The
I think he
production. Yeah, you know
is.
what I'm talking.
Atomic Monster or something.
Just
Anyway.
wondering.
Anyway, yes, probably. But I watched it. It was certainly a movie in that vein of things. And as I was watching it, also I didn't think it was that bad. It's a Conjuring movie. If people are expecting cinema, absolute cinema from the the Conjuring, you've walked into the wrong theater.
It is like the 12th or 13th movie in the series.
Oh yeah, the Conjuring verse includes
if you're
Annabelle, it includes the Nun, it includes I think there's a third thing I'm forgetting. Probably the one with the lady who has a face in the back of her head, Malignant. Anyway, in watching it, as most of these movies are, this one purports to be based on a true story that becomes less and less important to the movie as we go throughout.
Sure.
So I wanted to check out the true story that it was based on, because as I was watching it, I was like, surely this isn't what happened. Surely they didn't discover there was a haunted mirror causing everything at the end, and that it contained a demon, spoilers, like a demon that they had faced once before and inadvertently let go back into the world. And so I did.
Oh, but surely it does.
I looked up the there's yet another twist that I won't reveal. I looked it up. I went this Conjuring Last Rites is the name of the movie, is based on the Smurl haunting, the true story of an alleged demonic attack in Pennsylvania that inspired Conjuring the Last Rites. So this is an article from allthatisinteresting.com about the Smurl haunting. So it dragged on for 4 years. For 13 years between 1974 and 1989, eventually causing the desperate family to call in, you guessed it, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Islands in the stream, I can hear a scream, ghosts that make us cash will lie off our ass. That's the Warren song that I've just written based on.
It's pretty good.
Islands in the Stream. Nearly 40 years ago, the story of the Smurl haunting created a media firestorm. So already we've got the media involved, which, that's blood in the water to the ambulance chasing types. Jack and Janet Smurl's claim of paranormal phenomena such as levitations, foul stenches, blood-curdling screams in the middle of the night drew international attention to the small Pennsylvania town of West Pittston, including that of demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens visited the Smurl home in 1986, which Ed confirmed was possessed by a very powerful demon. Not one of these weak ones, not the demon of not going in the rose bushes. Not the demon of playing ball in the house. A very powerful one. I'm afraid your house is haunted by a level 17 Dark Lord. He and Lorraine spent months at the home collecting what they claim to be evidence. This is already pretty biased, what they claim to be evidence, but I'm also reading it like a dick, so. Mostly in the form of audio recordings of the demonic presence. The Smurl haunting and subsequent investigation by the Warrens became the subject of the 1986 book, The Haunted, and has more recently inspired the film Conjuring Last Rites. So what really happened during the Smurl family haunting? This is the true story behind The Conjuring, The Last Rites. From allthat'sinteresting.com, written by Austin Harvey, edited by Kalina Fraga.
She's a good editor.
I assume one of them is an AI robot. The Smurl family. In August 1973, Jack and Janet Smurl moved into a double block house in West Pittston, Pennsylvania, with their 2 young children, Lucifer and Demonica. No, I'm kidding. The other half of the home was occupied by Jack's parents, John and Mary. And the Smurls later also welcomed twins, But soon after they arrived in the house, the Smurl family purportedly began to experience strange things. Surely they can't be a stranger thing than this fucking Santa Claus sweater that's being advertised to me.
Hmm.
Are you seeing this?
I am.
Good Lord.
Well, I'm seeing it and I'm purchasing now.
Is
Yeah.
he yawning at us or is he surprised? It looks like
Yeah. I don't want to say Bukkake Santa, but I mean, here we are. Anyway, stop share. Back to the story. Experience strange things. According to the New England Society for Psychic Research, or NESPR, it's a fun name, an organization started by Ed and Lorraine Warren and now run by their son-in-law, Tony Spera, the Smurls first noticed subtle signs that something was off. Tools went missing. Wall stains emerged after being painted over. And the family smelled sudden, foul odors. Farts? I don't know.
I mean, I think that's where we all went.
To the shock of the Smurls, unplugged kitchen appliances even caught fire. This scene is wild in the movie, by the way. As the family suffered from personal setbacks, Mary had a heart attack, and Jack, despite a recent promotion, was struggling to make ends meet. Their creepy encounters at home increased. Both Mary and Janet heard voices that sounded like one another. This is a common occurrence with hauntings. Which makes me wonder, I don't know, a lot of things. What jumps to mind when you hear that? The doppelganger voice call thing. There's not a right answer. I mean, what do you think that is?
I mean, only because I've been watching a lot of horror movies over the last week or so.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, it's always going to be a young child calling out.
Okay.
That's a good one. I was gonna think the grandma, maybe like a help me or come this way, sweetie.
Interesting. And they're mistaking it for one another's voices. Yeah, I always think because this seems to happen a lot. I listen to a lot of paranormal podcasts, and this is a story that gets reported a lot. People hearing a voice of someone when they're not home, someone trying to lure them into another room. It does feel like luring behavior. I hear people talk about hearing someone calling their name in the woods, or a baby crying is more common in the woods situation, which is, I think, is something different. I think that's something much
that seems very fey. Yeah,
you think
that's just a bobcat? I think. You ever hear a bobcat be?
Hey, listen,
baby.
Don't. Hey,
it could be a coyote.
Don't give my ADHD the opportunity. We will talk about bobcats. But I always think time or reality being wibbly. Like, are you hearing a time they did call you? Are we hearing you in a different reality, an adjacent reality? Is that why maybe this spot is somehow the reality is thin or something? I don't know.
There was an interesting article, I believe, on Pop Magazine, Popular Science, about space and time not working as we perceive it. We perceive it working in this forward fashion mode, but in no way does it actually mathematically work like that.
Interesting. Geez, I hope I never have to figure out how it actually works. I have a hard time with this version. Okay. As the family setbacks, their creepy encounters at home increased. Both Mary and Janet heard voices that sounded like one another, and Janet claimed to be molested by some unseen presence in her sleep. Yikes. Jack, too, said he saw a shadowy figure run up his wife's leg in the night. The family also claimed to see dark masses. As the Times leader reported, the Smurls said the haunting eventually reached the point where the family and their dog were being thrown into walls. And Jack, trigger warning, and Jack had been sexually assaulted by the presence numerous times. By January 1986, they were desperate for help, so they called Ed and Lorraine Warren.
This is a little bit more serious than your typical plates being thrown around or
Yeah. It's fucked up.
even scratches.
Yeah. Ed and Lorraine Warren investigate the Smurl haunting. It didn't take long for the Warrens to substantiate the Smurl family haunting. As they toured the house, Ed Warren invoked the name of Jesus and commanded the spirit to reveal itself. According to him, the spirit in the house reacted immediately. Quote, within seconds, the room turned icy cold, Warren told the Lakeland Ledger in 1986. Quote, there was a foul stench. I would describe it as rotting flesh. Objects on the bureau started to move in front of the bureau gossamer threads. A mucus-like smoky-type substance whirled and materialized on the mirror, spelling out filthy obscenities, telling me in no uncertain terms to get out of the house.
Like, get out of here, butthole.
I'm using all of my ectoplasmic powers to call you a butthole.
Yeah.
You know, bad words.
Yeah. This was the 70s, so they were like, sit on it, Potsy. And the mirror is involved. There is a mirror involved in this in the movie. So this is actually closer than I had anticipated. In Ed's assessment, whatever entity was haunting the Smurls, it was, quote, powerful, intangible, and very dangerous. Between January and August, the Warrens regularly visited the Smurl home to conduct paranormal research. Throughout it all, they continued to stand by the Smurls' claims of a haunting and supposedly collected hours of audio recordings that showcased odd noises being made by the, quote, demon. Others, meanwhile, weren't buying it, and the Warrens' presence only cast more doubt on the case. Skeptics are unconvinced by the stories. Here's a great quote by Paul Kurtz, philosophy professor at the State University of New York at Buffalo and chairman of the Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal.
That's quite the title.
He says, Ed and Lorraine Warren have no credentials in the scientific or parapsychological communities. They say that the Smurls' story was nothing more than a hoax, a charade, and a ghost story. Meanwhile, some offered to lend free psychiatric and psychological help to the Smurls, who many felt were suffering from delusions or hallucinations of some kind, but the Smurls declined. Instead, they and the Warrens asked a priest to come by the house to perform an exorcism. The priest, in fact, reportedly performed 3, all of which were, quote, unsuccessful. Janet Smurl said that they had failed because the demon had traveled back and forth between halves of the double block, depending on which side the exorcism was taking place.
Look, we're not crazy. Our house is possessed.
But sometimes, only sometimes. Reverend Gerald Mullally, the Scranton Diocese Chancellor, said the church had been made aware of the Smurls' troubles, but did not confirm that they were being haunted by a demon. We don't know what it is. That's the problem. We believe what the family is telling us. It's the explanation for what they're experiencing that we're not sure of. The article goes on to ask, in the eyes of skeptics, Jack Smurl's medical history didn't help. In 1983, he had surgery to remove water from his brain, before which he had been experiencing short-term memory loss, a problem that likely originated with meningitis he suffered in his late 20s. Yikes. Was the Smurl haunting a hoax? This is Kurtz again. There is an explanation for the Smurl house, but I wouldn't simply assume it is a haunting. It seems to us that a great to-do has been made about it, and we wonder if it is like the Amityville horror hoax, which was based on imagination rather than an actual haunting.
Well,
we all know.
Imagination and a murder.
A very real murder. Ronnie DeFeo fatally shot his parents and 4 younger siblings in their Long Island home. And Ed and Lorraine got stuck into that too. Additionally, a priest from the diocese who spent 2 nights in the Smurl home in October 1986 said nothing unusual happened during his stay. Later that month, Reverend Joseph Adonizio, pastor of Immaculate Conception Parish in West Pittston, told local media prayers have chased the foul smells and violent demons from the West Pittston home, and that things are back to normal. A year later, Janet Smurl said that the family were still experiencing some odd problems at home, but nothing as severe as when they had contacted the Warrens. They moved out of the home shortly after and settled in Wilkes-Barre. The woman who moved into the home next, Deborah Owens, said she never had a supernatural experience. A man who moved into the other half of the double block said the same. No member of the Smurl family has ever come forward to confirm if the story was a hoax, but as always, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. In this case, however, scientific explanations had barely been tested, let alone exhausted. So with other more grounded explanations still on the table and no conclusive evidence to support the paranormal one, the Smurl haunting remains unconvincing.
I don't know. Some of that was pretty convincing.
Yeah, I don't know about that conclusion, but it does. It is a good example of when sensationalizing these things doesn't necessarily help the situation. Ed and Lorraine Warren by this time were celebrities. They were on TV yet again for another live haunting.
They got their speaker fees and whatnot.
Yeah.
They were raking in the celebrity.
Yeah. But that said, that doesn't mean that these people weren't experiencing a very real and terrifying haunting for about 13 years. But there you have it. That's the Smurl haunting.
And
this is the alleged demonic attacks in Pennsylvania that inspired The Conjuring, Last Rites.
Presumably, it followed them after they left the house.
Yeah, it does. This does seem like one of those situations where we're dealing with a haunted person rather than a haunted.
Yeah, this is like a demonic attack more than a little ghosty.
That being said, there's a great new Netflix series called, I think it's called A Haunting.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking. That's what it's called.
I just watched it yesterday. It's pretty cool. Pretty good. Anyway, that does it for my segment that I'm calling Hooray for Hollywood.
Ooh, good one.
Thank you. I don't know if it was a good one. It was one.
It was one of the many.
It was one of them.